Hey there, and welcome. From the tiniest microbes in a drop of water to the massive Amazon rainforest, our world is just this incredible web of connected systems. Today, we're going to break down the one big idea that ties them all together, the ecosystem. All right, let's get into it.
First things first, just take a second and think about where you are right now. Look around. What are the key things, both living and, well, not living, that make up the space you're in?
The variety of stuff out there can feel pretty endless, right? So to make sense of it all, let's just grab a few examples from different places and see if we can spot a pattern.
Let's start with something simple, a flower. It seems basic, but it's actually a little powerhouse, turning sunlight into energy. And of course, it's in this super important partnership with pollinators, like bees. It's a whole relationship.
Okay, next up, an elephant. Now this is what scientists call a keystone species. That means it's so important that it actually works as an ecosystem engineer, literally shaping the entire landscape for all the other animals and plants.
Now, let's head to the water and check out the lotus. As a water plant, it doesn't just provide food, it's also critical shelter and habitat, creating a whole world for fish and insects just below the surface.
And even more basic in the water is algae. I know, it's not the most glamorous, but these tiny photosynthetic wonders are the absolute foundation of most food webs in oceans and lakes, supporting pretty much everything else.
And now for something completely different, a stone. This is a huge shift in thinking, right? This is the non-living part. It doesn't grow, it doesn't reproduce, but its makeup completely dictates the kind of soil you have, and therefore, what kind of life can even exist there. Okay, back to the living stuff with a classic, grass. It does so much. It stops the soil from washing away, it feeds enormous herds of animals, and it's the backbone of entire landscapes, from the African savannas to the American prairies.
And finally, the lion. As an apex predator, it's right at the top of the food chain. Its whole job is to keep the populations of those grass eaters in check, which keeps the entire system stable. It's this amazing domino effect.
So, we've got plants making food, animals eating them, other animals hunting them, and the very ground they all live on. What's the most basic, fundamental way we can sort all of these incredibly different things?
And here it is. This shows the main idea perfectly. Everything, and I mean everything, can be sorted into two buckets. On one side, you have the biotic factors. That's all the living or once living parts. On the other side, the non-living factors. That's it. This one distinction is the key to understanding how any environment works.
Now, that non-living group has its own scientific name, which is pretty cool, abiotic factors. The A means not, and bio means life, so literally, not life. And this isn't just about rocks and water. It includes sunlight, temperature, soil chemistry, the climate, all the physical rules that life has to play by.
And that brings us to the main event, an ecosystem. It's what you get when you put those two groups together. It's a community of living things that are all interacting with their non-living, abiotic environment. It's all about the relationships, the flow of energy from the sun to the plants to the animals, and the recycling of nutrients from the soil through all the organisms and right back again.
So what's the big deal? Why does this definition matter once you've left the classroom? How does thinking this way actually change how you see the world?
Well, it means you start to realize that these systems are absolutely everywhere. A city park isn't just a bunch of trees and birds, it's a full-on urban ecosystem where life has to deal with abiotic factors like pavement, pollution, and streetlights. Your own backyard is a complex system of plants battling for sunlight and water, while earthworms, those biotic factors, are busy cycling nutrients through the abiotic soil. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Of all the abiotic, non-living factors that control the life you see every day, sunlight, water, temperature, the air, which one, if you changed it, would cause the biggest chain reaction in your local ecosystem? The answer really tells you just how fragile the foundation of all life really is. Thanks for listening.